Hello, I'm Giles Darling and I write novels, plays and non-fiction books. In this video, I continue to show an example of how to create dozens of story ideas from a what-if moment. This follows the process outlined in my How to Create Story Ideas videos, which I include a link to below. In my previous videos, I asked and answered some open-ended questions. The next step is to come up with some brief story ideas by combining these answers in different combinations. To help me do this, I start by writing the answers in lists and place them side by side. You might wish to pause this video to see these lists more clearly. Ideally, each story idea contains a trigger event, also known as an inciting incident, an initial attempt to resolve the event, and maybe some unexpected consequences, often in the form of questions. Different potential answers offer the possibility of even more story ideas. Here are some examples based on my list of answers. Story idea number 1. A family man loses a hand in a DIY or gardening accident. He regrows his hand so he can teach his sports-mad son how to play baseball or cricket, but the treatment goes wrong somehow, changing the father's behaviour and causing the family to fall apart. The father confronts the doctor who treated him. Is the doctor part of a drug trial cover-up? Does the father expose some sort of conspiracy? Story idea number 2. A factory worker loses an arm in a workplace accident. His employer won't pay for the treatment to regrow the arm, even though the employer is very rich. The factory worker and his friends gang together to steal the money from the employer. They hatch a plan, but they're caught red-handed and end up in jail. Did one of the gang betray the others to the police? Story idea number 3. 2 soldiers lose their legs in the battlefield. Only one of the soldiers is able to regrow their legs, as the personalised paste for the other soldier is missing. After the war, the two meet again. The wheelchair-bound ex-soldier is jealous and seeks revenge by ruining his former friend's life, maybe by wooing the friend's partner, who our wheelchair-bound central character used to date before the war. There's always time for a love triangle. Story idea number 4. Alternatively, the able-bodied soldier feels ashamed because he was responsible somehow for his colleague's paste going missing. He can't bear the guilt any longer and commits suicide. How does the wheelchair-bound ex-soldier react to this? Story idea number 5. A concert pianist suffering from arthritis spends all her savings to regrow her fingers so she can continue her career. However, her arch-rival regrows extra fingers in order to play some fiendishly difficult, otherwise impossible piece of piano music. Broke and unable to outshine her rival, our hero turns to gambling or addiction. At rock bottom, she is rescued by a charity. She plays on a worn-out piano at a fundraising event for the charity. Does she find redemption and inner peace? Story idea number 6. A protestor breaks into an animal testing laboratory where scientists are testing a modified virus that enables caged animals to regrow body parts. The protestor releases the animals, who then spread the virus that mutates among the population. It causes people to grow random body parts spontaneously. Some people are immune, some people die, while others revel in their newfound abilities. This creates a new super race of humans. Do they try to rule over everyone else? Story idea number 7. An elderly man with dementia is offered the opportunity to regrow part of his brain. This will cure his dementia, but he's warned it could change his personality. His wife and children cannot agree among themselves whether the man should go ahead with the treatment. What do they ultimately decide? Does he regrow his brain and then leave his wife for someone younger? Story idea number 8. A journalist comes across some decades-old records about a medical trial for a new wonder treatment to regrow body parts. Intrigued, the journalist chases some leads to find out more. One day he meets a recluse who reveals they were one of the original human guinea pigs for the wonder treatment, decades ago. Why has this person hidden away for all these years? The journalist discovers that it's been possible to regrow body parts for decades, but governments have suppressed this knowledge. What does the journalist do next? Story idea number 9. Two business rivals are each developing unique treatments to regrow body parts. An employee at one of the companies is bribed or blackmailed to tamper with their tests by their rival boss. They think they've succeeded only to discover that similar industrial espionage has taken place in the other workplace. Meanwhile, a third company succeeds at perfecting the treatment and beats the two business rivals to market. How do the two rivals react? Do they form a truce to fight back against the successful company? Story idea number 10. A laboratory assistant involved in developing the technology to regrow body parts has second thoughts about its morals or ethics. She clashes with the lead scientist and decides to leak the details to the press. The military, who are funding the science, detain her because they think she's a spy. She escapes and the military hunt her down. Do they find her, or does she get a new identity and live the rest of her life looking over her shoulder? Story idea number 11. A crew member on a spaceship loses a body part in an accident. The onboard robot doctor regrows the body part, but something goes wrong. The body part develops a life of its own and detaches itself somehow when the crew member is asleep. It then prowls around the spaceship, killing the rest of the crew, one by one. When does the original crew member discover that his body part is responsible for the carnage? Is he the only one left? How does he react? What does he do? Story idea number 12. On his death, a religious leader's head is cryogenically frozen by his followers against his explicit wishes. A century later, technology is able to regrow all body parts. With no one dying anymore, people no longer look after their health, and society has abandoned morals and religion. The followers, now a small band of outcasts, grow a new body for their frozen leader and bring him back to life, in the hope that he'll lead an uprising to reimpose morality and religious values. How does the leader react to his new surroundings? Does he help his followers? There are many more potential story ideas. Can you think of any? Can you also spot if any of the story ideas discussed in this video overlap with the plots of existing novels, films or movies? If so, why not leave your suggestions in this video's comments? Thank you for watching this video. Please feel free to use any of these story ideas for your own novels, plays, screenplays or TV scripts. To see me create more story ideas by swapping story components among other methods, please watch my final follow-up video. Please also check out the rest of my YouTube channel, especially where I discuss the various books that I've written. I hope my channel encourages you to buy my books and to read them if you haven't already done so. Finally, please feel free to leave comments below and to like and subscribe this video and my YouTube channel. See you later.